After launching fragrances in September 2018, Femina Flaunt, the retail brand owned by Bennett, Coleman Co Limited or BCCL, will target the growing beauty market. Sandeep Dahiya, Director Brand Extension of BCCL, tells retail networks that the company's current revenue ratio is 65 to 35 in favor of fashion vis-a-vis non-fashion, where fashion is predominantly divided between apparel, footwear and handbags. He expects fragrances to contribute 7% to 10% to this figure over the next 2 years, since this product range will be sold across 300 odd outlets and will not be limited only to Shoppers Stop 60 stores.
See, I think we were very keen to move Femina from the central table into the wardrobe, right? And I think we've been able to do that thanks to great product, thanks to focusing on getting the consumers what they want. So they're coming back, they're buying more of that, they're buying more often of that. And I think going forward, we continue to provide more products to them with the same philosophy and with the same passion. So Femina was, it had a much older TG, let's say 20 years back, 10 years back, but I think it's moved younger in the last 10 years. Which is why when we decided to retail Femina, it's not Femina, it's Femina Flaunt. And I think it was used as Flaunt so that we could have the best of Femina and yet not be limited by it. So you've got the core fashion category, so you have the apparel, footwear, bags and accessories. You've got sunglasses, which you have both the shades or the glares as well as the optical wear. Then we've got just launched fragrances, starting with 4 variants. And there are a couple of other which we'll soon announce, which are exciting, very different, and a completely different business model. That's the next thing for us to attack, to plan for. So if you understand Femina as a brand, right? It's more than 60 years old. It's been the advisor and the guide and the friend to the reader, to the woman, right? What has it been advising on? It's been advising on fashion, styling, beauty, skincare, relationships, money matters, broadly, right? If you take the top 6 categories of that's fashion, that's styling, that's makeup, that's beauty, skin at best. So the idea was, let's start with fashion and then let's go. So there are certain categories which are difficult to crack, right? A skincare is a very technical category. You need a lot of credibility, you need a lot of R&D, you need a very credible partner there. So probably that's the last thing that we would attack. By then time, Flaunt would have built a lot of credibility. By that time, we would have cracked a nice business model and see what kind of player do we need to come on board. We can't do it ourselves for sure. And that's how you'll go. That, the low-hanging fruit first, where the credibility is not required as much and can be easily built if you provide a great product, starting with fashion. See, so let's say if I have to take fashion as one vertical, right? It's a core vertical. It's typically divided between apparel, footwear, handbags. Predominantly these 3, right? A good ratio is from an apparel to non-apparel is 65-35. 65% sales comes from the apparel, 35 comes from bags and shoes put together. Now, that's a good ratio, optimal ratio to have. And we are having that in the last 18 months or so. So, about between 7 to 10%. Over the next 2 years, because again, see what the reality of the category is, like perfume, is it can spread to 200,000-300,000 outlets. Fashion, you would not want it to spread to that, because then you're going a business model. Here we are there only in 60 outlets, right? A perfume is into 300,000. So the numbers are stacked up in favor of that category. Also the price point. See, when we decided to extend our brands into the consumer product space, it was important for us to focus on 3 things for sure we wanted. Partners who can bring credibility, scalability, and sustainability of the business model. And I think Shoppers Stop exceeded on all the parameters. They can not only sell, they can provide a great consumer experience for the brand. And I think that was one thing that we were very particular about. For a new brand, we were clear that it has to be very touch and feel. The experience for the consumer has to be great, especially for the first few seasons, and then we'll decide whether we want to go online or not. So I think those were the few fundamentals before us to take key calls on, and I think we're glad that we went ahead with Shoppers Stop. today we have the core fashion categories, whether it's apparel or footwear, handbags, accessories in more than 60 stores across 20 cities. And we're doing a business which matches our expectation that we have with them.